we've talked a lot about divisive things that are in our country and how we're now essentially a nation of tribes, the left and the right. But is it time for us to stop being so divided and to start actually talking to each other, actually listening? So that's the question we're asking after Sean Penn went on Sean Hannity's Fox News show last night. Now, the two discussed their trust issues and coming together. Take a listen.
You remember what you first said to me?
I do.
What'd you say?
I said that I don't trust you.
Is there a reason you didn't trust me?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons I don't trust you.
Did I keep my word?
You absolutely kept your word, and I.
So why don't you trust me?
You know what happens is that there's a lot of physical therapy necessary after a big car accident. You don't get it all done in a day.
Okay, so what do you all think of this? Is it time for the far left or the far right to stop pandering, Jeff, to their bases and start actually listening to each other? What do you think, Jeff?
Well, that would have been a great segue, but stick around because that's the next block. I got the stories mixed up. But to get back onto this story, good for Sean Penn for going on Sean Hannity, right? Because we have way too much divisiveness on how to even pronounce that word. I'm not even sure still. For Sean Penn to go on there, Sean Hannity got a little salesy at the end, like, come on, you gonna buy this car? You gonna buy it? Like, you're on my team? Listen, we don't even need that. Just meet in the middle. Say what you need to say what you need to say, and let's find some common ground. Is that so hard? And this is a great step forward for everybody on both sides.
Yeah. Doesn't it always feel like there's an agenda, though, Erica? And I'm not saying this is what it is. I commend Sean Penn, and I commend Sean Hannity.
Absolutely.
But how do you know that they're not setting you up to, like, perform some sort of like gotcha question?
Well, the truth is you don't. Yeah. I mean, you don't know if you're coming on as a guest. You don't know if you're hosting the show and a guest has their own agenda and wants to get you in the moment. We've experienced that. So, I think when you talk about trust, there's something there because it's like any interpersonal relationship has to be built on trust. In order for us to be as vulnerable and as transparent as we are on this panel, I have to come here every day, we all do, and have to believe that none of us are going to try to take the other one down. That's how you have open dialogue. But when people are so far removed from the center of a coming together, then that is going to take some time. And I love the way that Sean Penn explained that because that's exactly what it is.
And they were talking about Ukraine, and they're both on the same side of that. But please, go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. It's not great when we have something like Ukraine, but it does show us when there's something like Ukraine or 9/11 that we can come together. So we know it's possible. We have that. It's possible. The issue, Erica, Jeff, Sam, is what happens when we're not talking about Ukraine so much anymore, and we're talking about access to voting rights, access to health care, access to schools. And Erica, what you were talking about earlier for me, because I was thinking about, like, why are we able to do this every day? I know that no matter what Jeff says or what Sam says or what Erica says, you're saying it in good faith. Even if I don't agree with you, I don't think you're saying something because a lobbyist is paying you to say something. That's all I want to know is that I love arguing. That's the best thing to do. I think it's very cathartic. And also, like, when we argue, I feel like that's a gift to me because you're opening up your mind to me and showing me how you think. So I don't mind arguing, but I need to know it's in good faith. So, like, when you're telling me that COVID is a hoax, but all you guys are vaxxed, see, we can't talk.
Right.
If you say, I think COVID is a hoax and everybody at this network isn't vaxxed, I'd be like, hey, well, let's talk. You clearly believe this. It just has to be in good faith. Right. I don't care if I 100% disagree.
Let me end with this quote, and then we'll get to the other bit. So this quote is very poignant with this discussion. James Baldwin, of course. We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in
my oppression. Yes, child.
And
you better let
denial
them know
of my humanity and right to exist.